Okay, Jason, 5 weeks remain in the legislative session in Austin. I know property taxes still a very hot topic, but time is running out and the House and Senate are pushing for different versions. So with all of that, what's likely to happen here?
That's the big question. You know, we talked to Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick earlier this week. He said that he might force a special session. He can't call a special session. Only the governor can do that. But if the lieutenant governor were to hold a bill, and right now property taxes is the biggest thing the House and Senate really disagree on, that could force a special session, meaning lawmakers would have to come back this summer at some point and try to hash this out again. Here's the bottom line on this. The House of Representatives, Dade Phelan, the speaker over there, and Morgan Meyer, a state rep from the Dallas area, they came up with a plan that essentially caps the appraisals. It limits how much that school districts can charge you in property taxes. The Senate has an entirely other plan, a different plan, and it increases the homestead exemption. Right now it's $40,000 you can kind of write off on your taxes. The Senate plan increases that to $70,000. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says the House plan is bad math, and he says it will only pass, that House plan's only going to pass when hell freezes over. Those were his words, Mike.
Now, you talked about that phrase, special session. So you think that's where we could be headed, according to what you're hearing from the lieutenant governor?
That's what he said, that he might force one. He did this in 2017. You know, everyone hopes they don't have to come back to Austin this summer when they've been there for the past 5 months since January the 19th. But that is certainly something that can happen if these guys do not get their differences worked out between now and then. And right now, the main thing it looks like they're trying to figure out is property taxes.
All right, Jason, we do appreciate your time. Watch Inside Texas Politics for more insight. You can see it right here on KIII Sunday morning at 5.